back with the Ron and Fez show. And it is George Clinton's birthday today.
Is that right?
That's right, 64 today.
Wow. 64 years young. P-Funk.
An old 64.
Yeah, he is. He's an elderly 64. You know, I saw the thing for the Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles. I saw that preview today. Have you seen it yet?
Yep.
Damn thing looks good.
It does.
I thought it was going to be a stupid movie, but I thought the preview looked good. Good timing for Jamie Foxx. What a big year this could be for him. He's got that, which maybe if he's even halfway decent, you got to give an Oscar nod his way because, you know, you got to feel bad over Ray Charles. And now he's also in a movie with Tom Cruise.
He's got the Collateral coming out.
We're going to be talking with Johnny Punani a little later on tonight, Fezzi, about the international sport, football. Now, I know what you're thinking, Fez. Oh, football, I can't wait for the Redskins, the Ravens, the Buccaneers. No, not that football. World football, the international football, which we call soccer, and why it just refuses to catch on with Americans.
Yeah, I mean, kids have been playing soccer for a long, long time.
That's true, Fez.
They always try to start a new soccer league in the U.S., and usually it just doesn't work out.
You've come up with some good points, and we're going to get into that with Johnny Punani tonight. And I hope you're just this into his face as you are right now.
Oh, I want to blow the lid off of this one.
Yeah, you got me thinking now. Now you got my head working. Tomorrow night, Lance and Chuck from Full Rock and Karaoke are going to hang out with us, and we're going to give out Rush tickets as we try to find the jingle writer for the Ron and Fez show. Much to my embarrassment today, I turned on The View, and they're doing the same gimmick. I go, great. We're doing the same thing as The View. All right, here's something that got on my nerves from The View. All right, Hasselbeck. What's Hasselbeck is in Washington?
Tim is.
All right, well, his wife is on The View. And they were having somebody on from Guys Gone Wild. This is just like Girls Gone Wild, except for it's college guys. And I guess they're dancing and taking their clothes off and whatever. And the same guy who does Girls Gone Wild found out, or he hopes there's a market for Guys Gone Wild. And she said she had it at her house. She was nervous about watching it. She didn't really want to watch it. But she had to watch it because the guy was going to be on the show. Tim Hasselbeck gets up, goes, well, you won't have to worry about that anymore. Takes the video, throws it in the trash. Now, this is her show prep. This guy is a professional quarterback in the NFL. You can't get any more studly in our society, and yet he's worried that she's going to watch something called Girls Gone Wild, or Guys Gone Wild, and be just so caught up in the sight of a naked man that she'll no longer want him. And I'm like, you couldn't say anything worse to me about a couple and their odds for staying together.
Boy, does that sound insecure. You know, and it's like, what is she going to do? Go hunt down the Guys Gone Wild guy?
And you know what I would say if I was the producer? I'd say that's your damn job to watch that. You got that? You're supposed to be doing show prep. What kind of jealousy goes on between the sexes? 866-277-4969. Dubs, how's your chick when it comes to that?
She's really good about it. She knows where all my porn is. She knows all that kind of stuff.
That's a relationship that'll last. You got a good girl.
Yeah, she's kind of uptight about me going out, really, but...
Without her?
Yeah, sometimes.
Now, is she jealous, like you're going to meet somebody else?
No,
or?
she just doesn't think we spend enough time together.
Yeah, well, that, you know, that's not the same thing as somebody being so jealous. And, I mean, I couldn't live in a relationship like it. To me, the thing that a woman could do most, that's most attractive, is when they have that confidence that they're not jealous of other women. It kind of makes you want them more because they're so secure that you start thinking to yourself, I can't let her get away. I've had friends that have that are in relationships where the woman is so jealous, she'll get jealous when they're watching a movie. She'll get jealous if they're reading a magazine. She'll get jealous if she hears them say, some other woman is attractive. I can't even understand the craziness of that. In the same way, I know guys that act like Brad Pitt's a faggot, and try to start and yell that at their chick. And I'm like, well, first of all, calm down. There'll never be a time in life when you and Brad Pitt are fighting it out for the same woman. He gets any woman he wants. You're lucky to have one. That's where your life is right now. I can't understand jealousy with these women, and I don't understand why they don't think they're just pushing the guy away. 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. On the other side of this, though, I know some couples actually use that jealousy and those fights as like a way of kind of throwing a little spice on the relationship.
So they play off of each other's jealousy where they try to get the other one mad on purpose?
They have to have a fight. Fighting for them is foreplay. They have to be this big, dumb, dramatic thing before they can start and feel alive. Haven't you ever been to a party where they start to scream at each other and they're fighting and everyone breaks them up and the next thing they're making out? I never understand that. But if your man is going out to a strip bar, guess what? He's not going to go home with a stripper. It rarely happens. I'll open up the phone lines to this, though. 866-277-4969. Is the person you're with jealous? Is the person that you're with confident? And, you know, a lot of times I think jealous people push people to the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bring up, are you cheating on me? Are you cheating on me so much that the person finally says, yes, now I am. You've brought it up so many times, you've got it in my mind. 866-277-4969. Here's Renee. Renee, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hiya.
What's up?
Nothing much. You're just talking about jealousy, and, you know, I know that we don't have any jealousy in our relationship. We've been together over 15 years, and swinging has been a big part of that.
Now, swinging, to me, it sounds too much like the 60s, but you go out and you meet other partners. And
other couples.
Other couples. It always has to be other couples?
Yes.
And where do you meet them at?
There's clubs.
There's specific swing clubs.
Specific clubs. There's websites where you can meet people who have similar profiles, and yeah, you find people who seem interesting, and if there's a connection, you meet someplace, and if the connection is real, then you get busy.
All right, if you make the connection, do you swap partners, or is it the four of you all together?
Well, we're all in the same room.
You just want to be around it, don't you, Fez? See that? But it always has to be in the same room, and it's kind of going back and forth. But the guys don't touch and the girls don't touch each other.
Oh, no. Well, the whole point is that the girls touch each other.
That's the only part I like. But, Renee...
But the guys don't touch each other.
Yeah. Oh, you say the girls do touch each other.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless. Okay, now we're on to something. But you're saying that the guys, of course, don't touch each other because that's against Christ. Let's put it that way.
Of course.
And then, so it's not so much like the guy. So it's got to be like the girls kind of dig more than the guys, right? I mean, what I'm trying to say is you would think to go out and find another couple where the guy liked the girl and the girl liked the guy and vice versa would be somewhat difficult just on a mathematical thing.
The odds are it's pretty tough, but, you know, if those people in the relationship are pretty good looking and take pride in their appearance, you find other couples who do the same thing, and it's, the chemistry can be there. It's not as hard as it seems.
Renee, I'd like you and your man to come in one night. Would you like to do that and just hang out? We'll talk about swinging.
He would kill me if he even knew I made the phone call.
Well, let me put you on hold and I'll talk to you off, just in case you want to come in one night. I know some people. I would just like to hear more about it. For me personally, I think the whole thing works except for two guys who are in the same room. That's kind of gross. Here's Janet. Janet, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Hey, what's happening to my body?
Well, I'm not going to be talking about swinging.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to...
Then you're not invited in.
I just wanted to say, my husband and I are very confident with each other.
Yeah.
And when we go to the beach, we go to Rehoboth Beach, we have such a good time because he's a chest man, so he likes looking at women's chests.
Right.
So I just think bodies in general are just fun to look at because there's different shapes and stuff. And so I'll actually help him. Like, I'll point out chicks on the beach. I'll be like, hey, what about that one? Check that one out. And I'll just be like, all right.
How long have you guys been together?
We've been married for 3 years in September.
You know, see, to me, that's healthy when you can actually say, isn't this an attractive person? And because most of the time, let's face it, you wouldn't have a shot anyways, particularly if you're watching movies or a TV show, and there's no reason in the world for any woman to go, oh, he loves Jennifer Aniston, and be upset about it. It's just a fun little thing that he does. Yeah. Jan, it sounds like you're in a healthy relationship.
Oh, we have a blast. But I will say this. I don't see him doing the same for me. Like, I don't see him
It's harder for guys.
Cute guys.
Yeah, it's harder for guys. I mean, first of all, and I'm being very serious about this, girls can tell when someone is attractive.
Yeah.
Guys, it's harder for us to tell if other guys are attractive unless they look like a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can tell, okay, Johnny Depp, he's attractive because if you put a dress on him, he would look like a hot chick.
Very soft features.
So that one we can kind of tell.
Yeah.
But we can't tell if, suddenly if Derek Jeter is attractive. Women tell us that and you go, really?
Yeah, he is.
I had no idea.
And then I get worried.
Yeah. And then after a while, if you were suddenly, guys aren't going to sit around, occasionally they might go, all right, if you had to be with one of the Queer Eye guys, which one would it be? But other than that, we don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Does Fezzi think Derek Jeter is attractive?
Yes. Yeah, Derek Jeter's very attractive.
Yeah.
All right, let me point this out. Fezzi thinks most wrestlers are attractive.
It's that uniform.
Yeah, and then, my thing is sometimes I will get jealous if Fez thinks someone else is funny. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Well, why don't you go marry Carrot Top?
Thought he was funny, that's all.
Thank you very much, Janet.
I would be with any of the Queer Eye guys except for Ted.
Ted Allen?
Ted Allen, the food guy.
At least you're going to get a meal out of him.
He's got too much of a resemblance to someone else.
ADF. 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. We're talking about jealousy in relationships. It doesn't work, and yet I would say it's in a majority of the relationships out there, at least friends of mine. I think it is going to go to the 60 and 70%. I know people in radio who do shows where girls come in and out. I know sometimes their spouses or girlfriends are really jealous about that. And it always comes to a shock to me, like guys that we work, and, hey, well, I guess the strippers, you're like, hey, chill out for 5 seconds. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, my roommate's chick is so jealous she won't let him. She throws out his Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
You know what? I've heard of this happening before. I know that people get upset sometimes if their boyfriend or their husband is reading a Playboy, and be absolutely upset about that.
See, now that one really gets to me, because we started talking about Tim Hasselbeck throwing out that DVD.
Yeah.
I can't stand people putting their mitts on the other one's property.
Well, their thing is everything is porn. You know what I'm saying, Fez? Like, they act like everything out there is porn somehow. And then it's got to be because they're so insecure.
He can't even have those Viking calendars, with the chicks and the bustiers and stuff.
And I also know this. Like,
I got one of those. It was all Mike Tyson.
I know people like this. If it's like a blonde wife, right? She gets upset if he says, like, some Italian girl or some Asian girl is attractive. Because why? So it doesn't look anything like me.
Well, the standard line will be, is that what you want?
Yes, maybe I do. But I'm married. And I couldn't get in anyway. That's what you have to scream back. Here's Beth. Beth, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. How are you?
How are you doing, darling? What can we do for you tonight?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I was just kind of calling to talk about the whole jealousy issue.
Yeah.
My husband works for a building company, actually, so he works with a bunch of guys, contractors and everything, and he goes out often to strip clubs, even just for lunch and that kind of thing. And he tells me about it, which I love because I don't get jealous, and I'd rather him feel free to tell me what he's doing rather than hide it and, feel like he can't be honest with me. So we have a very open relationship, and I'm cool with that.
How long married?
2 years this September.
Yeah. Would you get upset if he chose not to share it with you?
I mean, if I found out he did that and didn't tell me, I don't know that I would get upset, but I would wonder why.
Yeah, then you're going, what's up? Yeah, so
Yeah.
what are you saying, Fez? Like, he shouldn't always have to say?
No, I'm wondering if the only reason she's good with it is because he's reporting into her about everything he's doing.
So you're thinking more as reporting more than just sharing.
Yeah.
And it's not like he has to report to me before he does it and get my permission or anything like that. He would basically tell me, oh, yeah, I went to wherever for lunch with my buddies, and this is what we did, whatever. And, it's not even like, I would probably never find out if he didn't tell me, so it's not like he needs to, but it's cool that he does, and because of it, I don't feel like there's any reason to feel threatened.
Hey, I got to agree with you there, Beth. And also, I do also agree that you should say, not even if you're out, but if you're with a partner, you say, here's what I did today. I went to a sports bar or whatever you happen to do. You probably shouldn't leave too many things out of your life before you start to sound somewhat shady about it. In the meantime, my angle is, hey, I'm working on something. Don't worry about it. Might work out for both of us. Who knows? Maybe this whole thing will come through.
It could all be good news.
Yeah. Well, let me surprise you. 866-277-4969, because we might be going away this weekend. Who knows? Maybe it's all going to be terrific. Here is Alicia. Alicia, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, guys. You guys are great.
Yeah, we are.
I just wanted to share with you a lesson that I learned way back in my high school dating days from my mother that I've carried through my life. And she always said that if somebody's constantly accusing you of cheating on them, that they're most likely either thinking about it themselves or doing it themselves.
You know what? There could be some truth to that one.
I found it to be pretty true.
It's almost, Fezzy, like, you know what they say of you dislike in others what you most dislike in yourself?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, so liars have a tendency to call people liars. Thieves happen to think people are stealing from them all the time.
I point out a lot of people's weight problems. I'm the exception.
And you're quick to talk about kid touchers. In the same way, and see, I'm going to check with Dubs on this one. Steele says this. He goes, most times when a man calls another man gay or fag or attacks like the Keanu Reeves or the Johnny Depps to their chicks, it's because that means that he finds them somewhat attractive and tries to fight that off by almost putting them down.
Yeah, I would agree with that, definitely.
Yeah. I kind of have a feeling about that, too.
I do it all the time.
And but a lot of guys will do that. And so far, even where they'll spread rumors. I remember when Keanu Reeves was kind of at the peak of his, good looks and all, and the Internet was just starting. So like back in the 90s. Yeah, I know he probably is. But, I mean, this is like after he had like a couple hit movies, and he was really like the number one guy, that they start to say he and David Geffen were married. I remember it being like the first kind of Internet hoax. And you would hear it from everybody. And the cool thing about Keanu Reeves is he never fought it or went along with it. And then Richard Gere always had that sick thing about him.
Terrible.
Everybody would do it, the kid in Titanic. It always has to be the young, good-looking guy gets all the rumors spread about him. And it seems like it's either because guys don't know how to deal with that, you know?
And if it's the theory of, it's like, oh, it's the way I really feel about them, so I'm going to put them down.
Yeah.
By calling them gay, it almost makes it like their fault. It's the Keanu Reeves' fault that I'm having these feelings.
Yeah, it's an odd thing, too. And again, it's weird for some guys when, they act like, hey, all I do is go to a strip club. But if you can't let your chick enjoy whoever she happens to be a fan of, without acting like, we're not going to that damn move. You know what I mean? You're just being the same thing. You're being bitchy. Thank you very much for calling us.
Thanks.
All right. Here is Gina. Gina, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, darling.
Actually, it's Katrina. I'm a dance, and I wanted to allay some of the fears of some of these women that are calling in concerned about cheating on the parts of their boyfriends or their husbands. For the most part, I can accurately say that there is no cheating going on. It's usually the lonely, disassociative type that come in to try to pay them out of the bar and then maybe engage in some sort of, interaction. Yeah.
I mean, you've been dancing for how long?
At least 5 years.
All right, so most of the guys that kind of become, I don't know, would you call them a fan or just a client of yours? They'll come in a couple times a week?
Well, that would be a regular, and that would be considered a client, but it's never a case where they leave the area, the work area. It's really actually a little bit of an indulgence with regard to the aspect of watching a girl dance, the psychological indulgence of bringing out the credit card to pay for some drinks, and it really doesn't go any further than that because the girls, for the most part, are worried about we call them 5-0 or whatnot, coming in and asking us for prostitution.
That's so cool they invented the term 5-0.
Well,
welcome, Dano.
Okay. So you're saying it never happens, the dancer never leaves with a client?
For
or
the
rarely?
most part, absolutely
Unless
not.
it's Tommy Lee. He always seems to leave with a dancer.
I could see that, but, not everyday good.
Ever had any jealous women show up at the club?
Actually, I was one of them. Prior to my getting into dancing, my boyfriend would talk about the strip clubs, and I finally went in with him, and it seemed pretty innocent with the fact that they would simply watch the perform on stage, and it was innocent in and of itself. There was no contact whatsoever. The problem was that one of the other girls in the club came up and said, "Oh, yeah, so-and-so. I remember when it was your birthday. I'm glad you came by. Do you remember when we did this or that?" And that was problematic in itself. But for the most part, there is no cheating going on.
Well, all right, have you ever been dancing and kind of got turned on looking at somebody else looking at you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's part of the show, and then that's part of what everybody enjoys is the eye candy aspect.
Right. But you've never dated anybody at one of your clubs?
Very few. And depending on the club, I'm serious though, depending on the club, the owners or the bartenders are extremely sensitive to the dancers getting involved with clientele.
Right.
I mean, and if you take it back, 30 years, they used to break the dancers' legs.
I wish we could go back to those days. Yeah, those were more civilized times.
Yeah, right.
I'm a 74 man. Thank you so much, honey.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to come by and see you peel one night. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Oh.
All right. So there you have it. There you have it, baby. You're not going to... The odds are against you being able to pick up a dancer.
So the wives and the girlfriends can relax about the club.
Other than the fact that the guys go in there and drop it 200. That also is another problem, but the guys don't bring up. We're going to take a quick break. 866-277-4969. We'll be right back. It's the Ron and Fez Show.